in his very new salon. Colin, how are you doing? Thank you.
I'm great, Mario. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for actually hosting us here, because you just moved into this area.
Yes.
After being for a long time somewhere else. This space is spectacular.
Thank you.
How did you envision this?
Ooh, big question. I'd been looking for a new space for some time because where we were was very small. It was 800 square feet. And the vision I wanted to have for a salon, to be able to give great service to our customers, plus to grow a team, it was too small. So I looked at numerous places. A lot of the new buildings were either too small or too large. And then one day, Woman's said to me, I've been working with them, looking at different places. They said, well, we have something that we'd like to show you. And so I walked in here in its raw state, where it had been boarded up for 10 years and was just a load of shit, really.
Yeah, I've never seen this in any other state other than this.
And it's like, as soon as I walked in, it's like, this is the environment, this is the place. And from there, it was just, everything just came to mind, how I wanted it to be, where everything would be. And I contacted Carla from Sticks and Stones, and I've known her for a long time. And we had some great discussions. I had ideas. There were things that I specifically wanted. And so based around that, we came together.
And you're a very specific fella.
I am.
You like the things very particular.
I like what I like.
Yes, but it also comes like in your industry, like I don't think this is happening anymore, because when you started in the industry, you lived in Paris. You were in France, you trained, like you did shit that nobody else here ever did. Do you see this now these days?
No, and I've had a really broad career. You know, I left school at 15 to start doing hair, and this was back in the late 60s, when everything was rollers and backcombing and bouffants and all of that. And then I moved to London, where everything was Sassoon and geometric and precision haircutting. And then you went, you know, in the 80s, it was like punk and big hair, like perms, you know, like huge hair.
Yeah.
And every decade has brought something new. And yes, of course, my time living and working in Paris also was a very different experience for hair. So I've had a really broad experience. And this is the combination of it all, really.
But you've always been a perfectionist.
Yes.
So, and the reason why I'm saying this, there was a few times, so I've been coming to you
Off
often,
and on.
on and off. Well, so
You've always been coming.
Yeah, not here, but yes. But so my stepdaughter, Audrey, cut my hair, and when she trained underneath you, she came out of school and she started working for you. And the way you taught her, even how it, like when she cut things and he's like, no, you got to do this, and you held the fingers, like, I don't see that ever. Like, I've been living in Canada for 22 years or something like that. And everywhere where I've always seen trainees, but I've never have seen somebody that was taking the time to teach their staff things to learn. It's always like, just do shit. But you're very specific. You're like, no, you want to do it this way. So people that come here and work for you, they learn a lot.
They do, because I believe we're a very important profession. You know, people think, oh, you know, you're just a hairdresser. But as a hairdresser, we look after our communities. We make our communities look and feel better.
Yeah. You make ugly people look great.
We make everybody look great.
Yeah. Whoa! I'm sure there were times where I like, can't help you on that.
You know, but you know, many years ago, when I was a lot younger hairdresser, I was at a conference and there was a speaker, a psychologist from the US. His name was Dr. Louis Lasconsky. And he gave up his whole practice to start working with the hairdressing industry. And after listening to him, it kind of changed my perspective, because up until that point, it was all about me doing hair. You know, it was me being a hairdresser. And after this, it was like, oh no, we're a very different profession. And he talks about a client of his. She was coming to see him every week for counseling, and she was super shy and wanted to get a boyfriend and was afraid to talk to anybody. And, you know, she told him that she'd seen this guy in this bar she'd go to, but she was terrified to ever talk to him. So after about 3 months, they'd organized. So this particular Friday night, she was going to the bar and she was going to talk to this guy. So the next week, she comes and sees him, and he was excited to think, you know, how did the date go? Did you talk to Mario? And she says, oh, no, I didn't. He said, well, why not? We've been leading up to this, you know, for the last 3 months. Well, I went to my hairdresser on Friday, and he thought it was a bad idea, so I didn't do it. And he said, what is the power of this hairdresser? I'm a psychologist. I've been working with this woman for 3 months, and her hairdresser says don't, and she listens to him, not me. So he gave up his practice and started working with the hairdressing industry and enlightening us to the power that we have sitting in the chair. You know, the power of our words, the fact that we listen. You know, one of the things that we do, like what other profession do we clean people? Like we wash your hair, we're cleansing you. So often when somebody's having their hair washed, we're cleansing them. It's almost like we're taking away their inhibitions. And then they feel open to talking to us about things they will never talk to other people about.
I'm sure the shit you guys hear is...
You know, so it's kind of therapeutic. Yes, we're making them look beautiful, but there's other things that happen in that process. So for me, this is really important, to be able to bring up and mentor the future generations, because I have found that within our industry, I find people have become selfish. Nobody wants to help pass on the knowledge, to actually show the younger generation what a great career this can be and how important they are. It's not just about doing hair.
You know what I find? I 100% agree with you, and I think actually this generation where we are living in a fear environment where people do not want to support their peers because they could outperform them. While in your generation, and you're a few years older than me, it was you wanted them to outperform you, to be the mentor there for them, so that they become better, that they may or may not become one day your boss or your owner or whatever it is. Well, owner, it sounds like a slave, but like that they become better. We're now living in a world where everybody, I think, is trying to keep everybody small so that they look good.
But there's no growth. There's no future in that. It's like my success comes when I see one of my team shining and excelling.
Well, actually, this early on, before we started filming, was a perfect example.
With Shelby?
Yeah, because she's like yapping away and being slow, and you're like, actually, this is part of her problem. She is slow. And next thing you know, you put the pressure on her, and next thing you know, 27 minutes?
Yeah.
She's like, she was done. She's like, oh my God, this is a record. And you said it. Do you see what a little bit of pressure will do? So she learns to be better.
Yes.
Whether she likes it or not, that's a different story.
You know, and that's life. When we're under pressure, we do things we wouldn't think we would normally do, and we surprise ourselves as to what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've lived a lot of life, obviously.
You are one of the most diverse people I know. Like, the shit you've seen, and even in your personal life, like, obviously, like, it is... Colin, you were married. You were married to a woman. You had a child. You came out gay. How old were you when you came out?
30.
30.
Because I knew at 30, if I didn't do it then, I'd have to do it at 40, and I didn't want to do it.
You didn't want to wait that long. It's like, I still want to have my 30-year-old sex, not with 40.
Whatever.
But you traveled. You've seen the world. You have experimented. You coached. God, what have you just recently got married to a very handsome man.
Yes.
So, like I don't want to say you've done it all because I'm sure there's still stuff on the bucket list. Very diverse man.
Yep.
Like, and your accent. Oh man, I fucking love your accent. It is.
Thank you.
Like
It's
talking,
very mixed up now.
it's a little
Bit of everything.
Yeah, but it just, especially in this country, right, in Canada, like accents don't really happen, and you just stand out.
No, it's interesting because the Canadian, I love learning languages, so I speak French, and now I'm learning Spanish. I know a few words in German.
I'm sure it's the dirty ones.
No.
What?
No. Guten Morgen, wie geht es Ihnen, Mario?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a little.
Wie viel kostet bitte?
Wie viel kostet bitte? Okay, when did you use that?
Haben Sie ein Zimmer für die Nacht? Wie viel kostet bitte?
Okay, not bad actually.
Asking for a hotel room and how much it will cost.
How much is it? No, very good.
So I know a few.
No, good call. Thank you.
Which,
well, you learned Spanish because your husband is Spanish.
He's Mexican.
He's Mexican. He
yes,
speaks Spanish.
so yes, I speak Spanish now. Not great, but it's okay.
Enough to get you into trouble?
Enough to get me into trouble, yes. Did get me into trouble.
No, like I said, you've seen it, you're coaching. So when I first met you about eight years ago, we know each other for a long time.
Yes.
You worked for another salon and you were coaching there and you had this mentorship. At what point, I think I do remember the point. Because the salon was sold, there was another person there, and you're like, fuck it, I need to do this on my own. And actually, you and I, we've had meetings where we're like, okay, we were going back and forth. How can I make this work?
Yeah.
And actually, I remember, oh my God, yes, we were looking at the business plan and financials and how can we make the numbers work? And like things just didn't line up till eventually they did.
Yes.
And like, I mean, this is because people at your age, how old are you again? You're up there, right?
Do you really need me to say?
Yeah.
I'm 72.
Fuck. At 70, how? Who does that?
Me.
Like, usually people at that age, they retire, they settle down, they die. Like you just went full throttle.
Yes.
Like, what drives you?
I'm not ready to say I'm done. There's more to do. And I guess this is the icing on the cake for me. Finally, this is me putting into place all the different ideas and thoughts that I've had in my life. And it's about me passing on a legacy to other people. So part of my idea is, yes, I've founded this, but I wanted to become to a point where the key players could choose if they want to become shareholders or, to create something for others to get started.
To give, to leave behind and grow and...
Yeah, and it's something for me to stay interested in. Like, I don't play golf. I'm not interested in playing golf.
No.
And I see so many people who retire and they don't have much purpose.
No, I've seen
And I have a purpose, a very strong purpose. And there's something about all my life. I don't know how to say no. So I just say yes, and things keep happening. And because I say yes, opportunities arise. Yes, I know how to say no, but in general,
I know.
But when it's a big opportunity, it's like, this feels right, and I just go for it. Does that mean that throughout my life there hasn't been challenges and failures? Yes, I've had some spectacular failures as well. But each time...
Like what?
I had a partnership of a business in New Zealand. I had gone into business with a couple who had an importing business for skincare. We took over a bankrupt spa. I ran the hair side, they ran the spa side, And my contribution was my salon, so I had 2 salons at that point. And after 2 years, it's like, this was not working. It was a time in New Zealand when people didn't want to go to have their skin and facials and beauty treatments in the same place they had their hair services. So it wasn't really successful. The hair salon was super busy. The spa part was super not. So we decided to close it on Christmas Eve. So I laid off 25 staff on Christmas Eve, and I worked for 2 years to pay off my share of the debt, so that, because if I'd chosen to go bankrupt, then my mother would not have got the loan back that she had loaned me to go into business. So I worked for 2 years to pay off the debt, applied to come to Canada, and moved here with $5,000 at 42.
Wow.
And a 16-year-old daughter to support. She came with me to start my life again.
Wow.
You know, that was pretty, for years I could not even talk about that. But I also saw it drove me in a new direction. It drove me to move to another country to start my life again. I met the people at L'Oreal, and so I ended up working as the education director for Canada for 13 years, and then moving to Paris to be the global director of education. If I hadn't had that failure in New Zealand, that would never have brought me here, would never have taken me there, and it just all is part of life.
It actually shows you that we don't learn from our winnings, we learn from our failures. That's how shit happens at the end of the day. That's how, well, that drives us out of the desperacy to get anywhere.
It is, you know, and I grew up on a farm, and my brother and I, like, we were working the farm at 8. I was driving a tractor at 8, you know, looking after the animals, and went off to boarding school at 12. So I learned a sense of independence very young. And
was that a boys-only boarding school?
Yep. It was.
Did we have some fun?
We did have some fun. You know, so my father was a self-made man.
Yeah.
You know, he came from a very poor background. He never had shoes, and like many of that generation.
Yeah.
And he was a very successful. He was a horse trainer. He was a jockey to start with, and then he became a horse trainer for thoroughbred racing, and he was New Zealand's leading horse trainer for numerous years.
Wow.
So there's this example of drive and success that I think he passed on to myself, my brother, and my sisters, actually. And even with our nieces and nephews, every one of them have been very successful in what they have chosen to do. And
so what are they? I didn't even know you had. So you have a brother and 2 sisters?
I had a brother, a younger brother. He passed away 6 years ago. He had MS for 30 years, so his life at the end was not great.
Yeah.
And I have 2 sisters.
Did that too?
No, no, they're very much alive.
Well, because you said I had, so I was like, oh.
No, they check up on me all the time. So
good.
Yes.
Good. Are you the oldest?
I'm the eldest.
Okay.
Yes.
Right on. And they're still in New Zealand?
They're still in New Zealand, yeah.
Well, you just have actually your granddaughter's just here too, eh?
Yes, my eldest granddaughter, Charlotte, so she'll be 20 in August. And she's here for the whole summer.
You know, Colin, I get always 72. I don't want to make you sound older than you know, but like, fuck, this is amazing. You've done very well. You look great. Like, if you look back in what your father probably looked like you at 42 or 45. Like, you look great.
My dad was also like me. He looked young too.
Really, eh?
Yeah. I think it's genetics.
God, you're one lucky bugger. That's awesome, actually. Wow. So
well, I think there's lots of reasons. I think it's genetic. When I was young, like in New Zealand, you grow up, you play rugby. Everybody plays rugby. I hated rugby, but anyway, you had to play. You're at school, you play rugby. And when you play rugby, you don't play by your age. You play by your weight. So you get weighed every season, and then you play with people of your same size.
And were you fat?
No,
you were with
at 15, I was playing with 12-year-olds. I was little, tiny, baby-faced.
So you were 15 and you're punching 12-year-olds all around. That doesn't strike me as fair.
No, they were the same size as me. I was tiny. I was little. I didn't start to grow until later.
Oh, God. Well, I guess it works well for you.
You know, and also, I look and I think I work with young people. All my life I've worked with 20 and 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
And if you want to stay relevant, you have to be like them.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand me.
No.
They can't. They haven't lived my experience.
No.
So I have to be able to relate to them. So I have to understand what this generation is about and be able to communicate.
And you do?
I do, for most part. Does it frustrate me sometimes? Absolutely. But that is who they are. That's who they are.
Sometimes that drives me nuts.
Well, yes, but everybody drives you nuts sometimes. You know, that's just life. But I kind of think the older generations, we have a responsibility to support, to mentor, but also to understand. Like I look back and I think, when I was their age, did I listen to anybody? No, I didn't. I just went and did what I wanted. And if you told me what I should do, I'd say, too bad, and I went.
Yeah.
They're no different.
No.
They have other things that they
Well,
have
we
to
have
condemn.
now our experiences, and we're like, well, you know. But again, I guess that made us successful to, you know.
Well, there's the expression, you can never put an old head on young shoulders.
No.
Because everybody has to learn their own way.
Yeah.
They have to go through it. And I've also learned, and I try to say to the young ones, nothing is ever as serious as you think it is. The worst that you think usually never happens.
Well, whatever, yeah. Well, and if it does
When you look at your life.
But if when it does happen, it turns out it actually wasn't that bad.
Exactly. If you look back, like, life brings you situations to force you to grow. Like if, you know, the expression, God comforts the disturbed and disturbs the comfortable.
God, I love that.
And I think that is so true. Like when life is going great and you think you have it all and there's no problems, then along comes the Mack truck, boom, and it's like, oh,
Well,
all of a sudden things change.
I just found myself in that situation myself.
Yes, exactly.
But you know what? I already knew, but it was Grace's best thing ever.
Yeah.
At the end.
You know, it forces you to look in a different direction and you go in a new way and you discover new things and new experiences.
Yeah. So with your new salon, what is like your next 5-year plan?
Oof. In 5 years, I won't be doing hair anymore. So,
Because you're still very heavy involved in
oh yes,
the hair
yeah,
component.
yeah. I love to do hair.
Yeah.
So, in 5 years, I would like to see that some of the staff have ownership in it, and quite possibly have more than one salon.
Nice.
There's a limit to what you can do in one space.
Yeah.
So, for sure, here we have a lot of room to grow.
So are you building like a template or like I wanted it this way so we can, like Starbucks, use that as an example.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to now take that template and we're putting it here.
It needs to be, well, I'm not sure yet, because I don't want a chain.
Fair.
I don't want a franchised system. That's not what I'm about. It's too personal. And the more you have, the more structured and franchised you need to be, and usually then the level of service goes more mediocre. So for me, I've always been, if I'm going to do something, I want to be the best at it. So for me, this salon is to say in Kelowna, there's another way of doing business. There's another way that hairdressers can live and have an amazing quality of life.
Yeah.
And not just working in a little studio or renting a chair where they're just kind of in this bubble of their own. For some people, that's great.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that that's where the biggest growth comes from. When you're working as a team and growing a team, having to learn to work together, understanding personalities, being able to have this vibrant environment is an exciting place to live.
It is a very creative and exciting way to support others. I agree with you, actually.
You know, so if we were to have another, maybe it would have a different energy about it. You know, not everybody necessarily is long-term is going to fit into this particular picture.
Well, your industry
So maybe there's another picture that we can create. So it's a different energy and a different style catering to a different market.
In your industry, intentionally, unintentionally, there's always a lot of change. And I don't know why. You know, sometimes you see a hairstylist here, and then they're over there, and then they're over there. With you, you found a very good team that just sticks with you.
Yes.
What is the secret sauce?
For me, the first thing is you have to see each person as a person. You have to provide a place where they can trust you, trust you as a person, trust you as an employer, that they see that there's a place for them to grow and become who they think they want to be and evolve. Where I think so many salons, unfortunately, the owners are working. They're usually the hardest working. And one of the things is, I don't want to be the star. If I'm the star of the show, there's no room for anybody else to shine.
Yeah.
So to provide a place where each person can shine in their own right is part of that success. It's not easy to do.
No, but you know what? Actually, obviously, Audrey's been with you from day
5
one.
years.
Yeah. And over the years, there were moments where she's like, oh, fucking why, and da-da-da. But she always said, I learned so much from you. And when actually, this is as we were talking about this is maybe possibly one some things why people are leaving other salons, because they end up getting just come in, clock in, leave.
You have to show you care about them. You have to show you care for them as a person and for their future.
And it doesn't mean you care about them just by saying, good job. You got to be like, okay, you did this wrong. Why don't you do it this way? And then explain to them, to be a mentor.
Yeah. Like today, every month we have team meetings. And so today's team meeting, we do our normal, what worked last month, what didn't work last month, who were the achievers, celebrate the wins, all that stuff. And then the other half, so today we were talking about the fact of how do you create a life of abundance as a hairdresser? What are the things that you need? So there's 3 pillars that we talk about. So sales, self, and service. And within those 3 pillars, there's 3 drivers for each one. So it was a way of reflecting of, if you want to have a life of abundance, you have to have all 3 pillars aligned. So if you're too much in this, or if you're too much in that, this is the consequence. So how do we work to make sure that you have the life of abundance that you want, whatever that could be? It could be financial freedom. It could simply be just a peace of mind. There's many.
Everybody does it, decides on their own.
On what that life of abundance is. It could be work-life balance. So for me,
I hate that word. Work-life balance. I don't even know what that means.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You do, because I know you. You do it automatically.
Maybe I don't even know. I don't even think about it.
You make it happen.
But I don't but even my kids, I always worked hard, but so life always I don't really understand that work-life balance. But
it is a real thing, and it is important because especially for men.
What?
Many men have heart attacks because they don't have their work-life balance. Because it's all about work, it's all about money, it's all about stress, and they don't know how to balance out the other side.
I probably would have, if I would have stayed married to the previous one, I probably would have had a heart attack.
And they've grown up with this work-life balance. I'm a baby boomer. We don't know what work-life balance was.
I don't.
But I've learned how to do it better.
You do?
Yes, I make sure I have my holidays. And
Actually, I think I called you the other day, and I said, "Are you at the salon?" You're like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." Like
Yep.
that was a very short. Nope.
yeah,
Okay.
so, but I consciously have to do that.
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to work all day, every day if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But also, when you are working at something you love, it's not work.
No, I know. I actually, you know what? That's
And that's the difference if you're working your life in a job just to make money, to live, to me, that's hard work.
Yeah.
And then you need some work-life balance.
Yeah. No,
but when you're doing something you love, it's not work.
You know what? That's actually, maybe that is fundamentally the problem why the word, maybe that is actually where the word came from. Because, like, I always loved what I did. Doesn't, whether I worked at cruise ships, whether I worked in a bar, like, I always loved what I did. It was just always fun. So it never felt like work. And I worked 18 hours, 20 hours. But this generation is, I feel like maybe they're doing stuff they actually don't want to do. So just, and then it is work. And then he's like, well, I need time off from that. I'm like, well, then don't do it. Like, do something else. And you coach people, like I said, like Audrey is a huge fan, admires you very dearly. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that actually, but it's out now. But she learned so much, and she's very grateful for all the things. And I've seen all the other staff that are here over the years that, I mean, some of them were shitty, but they were gone anyways, because they didn't believe in the concept that you had anyways.
Well, it's just like life. One of my favorite books is written by a woman called Marianne Williamson. Have you know her?
No.
She wrote a book called A Return to Love. And she's become political in the Democratic Party. She ran a little bit. Anyway, so one of the things in A Return to Love, she talks about the point of some people come into your life for a moment. Some are there for a number of years, and some are there for a lifetime. Not everybody is meant to be there forever. And it's the same within here. Like, some people will possibly stay with me in the business for a long time. And some may only stay 2 or 3 years and move on. Because I can't provide everything for everybody. I can provide the impetus to grow and to succeed. It could be within the organization, or it could be somewhere else. So it's to be able to say, I wish you well. It's been great while you've been here.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Then, but this belief that when people leave, that they're hurting me, it's like, I don't own anybody.
Yeah.
Even in a relationship, being married, I don't own my husband. We're partners, and my job is to support him in living his dream, and his is to support me living mine, and we there to walk the path together.
You know what? Actually, your partner is supremely younger than you. I'm saying supremely, he's younger.
Yes.
And this is, I've heard this a long time ago in Germany. Actually, it was when I was a bellboy. And I was working close by into like a gay area in Berlin that is like there's a section there. I think you
Yes.
traveled to Berlin.
Yep.
Yeah. And oh God, what was his name? Oh God.
Fritz.
No, that was my grandfather. Anyways, so it was a husband partners. They were married, and he was an older man, and his partner, husband, whatever, had this younger, actually would have reminded me of your husband, but beautiful long hair. And I think he was Persian or something like that. Very beautiful man too. And it's a very common that younger man and older man is a very common, easily maintainable gay partnership, I guess.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that.
Why? Actually, that always triggered my... Why?
When you're in a relationship, very few relationships are the personalities the same. Often I'm married to the opposite of who I am. In a male-female relationship, you have a natural yin-yang of the male and female energy. When you're two men, as men, first we're socialized as men. We grow up as men. And when men are socialized to be competitive in sport and business.
Rugby, yeah.
So if you're with somebody of a similar age,
That you compete.
you don't have a yin-yang unless your personalities are extremely opposite. Now, that could be that one partner could be quite an effeminate male, the other could be a very macho masculine male. That could be the yin-yang.
Yeah.
But when you have difference in age, that creates
That is-
a natural yin-yang as well.
Yeah.
So you're both contributing something different, and you're not competing in the world at the same level.
Yeah.
So this is why it works.
Yeah. That very, very interesting. That's actually the yin yang. I like this actually. Or maybe sometimes we go in a heterosexual world where there's a young woman and an old man. Maybe that's this. There's a yin. Actually, that is a yin yang too, because you enjoy
Yeah,
different.
it is, but
different.
but it's like the psyche of human beings is that historically, prehistoric times, a man would search for a woman that was going to be a strong woman to bear him children.
Yep.
So he looked for the best specimen because they needed children to actually keep things going. A woman would be looking for somebody who was going to be a good provider so she could have her children. So in the deep psyche, this is the drive, even though sociologically we've changed and nobody needs anybody anymore.
Well, I'm going to disagree with it. I think we all think we don't need anybody anymore, but I think we do need each other.
We do, absolutely we need.
And it's so like...
But I don't need my partner to do for me.
No.
I can do for myself.
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned really young, like when I was married, and my daughter's mum and I, she had more masculine energy and I probably had more feminine energy as a couple. I was the nurturing parent, she was the career-driven parent. So that worked for us. We were a great team, actually.
And you're still friendly, right?
Yeah, we have holidays together as a family and everything else.
That's beautiful.
Initially, when we broke up, of course, it was challenging, it was hurtful. I can't remember where I was going with this now anyway. My age is...
You're that old.
Yeah,
well, that's a good excuse. But anyways, so you're saying having the yin and yang is just a very, very important thing. It is. I was always curious about this because I was like, well, but at the end of the day, if this works, it works. At the end of the day. Same with you. Like now that you are having your own salon, actually, this is also very fascinating because you're very strong. You have a strong personality.
I do.
Yeah, I do, Mario. But so. How, when you look back now, being employed versus now being on your own and having all this responsibility and this stuff, when you look back now, it's like, oh, fuck, I should have done that earlier?
No.
Or did you clash with people because you're like, I want to do it this way?
No. I have had my own business before.
You did say that. Yeah,
so there was that. And then working for L'Oreal for 15 years in a corporation. So you can't do what you want in a corporation. There's certain ways you need to work.
Which I have a big issue with.
And I learned a lot from those years working in a corporation. I probably wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now if I hadn't done that because my viewpoint on how to be in business is different because of that corporate background now.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I was terrified to actually go back into business because of what happened to my business in New Zealand. That was super painful. So I was always supporting other people in their business. And then after the last one I worked with, it's like, you know what? You're not passionate about this industry. And at this point in my life, I don't want to work for anybody that's not passionate. I don't want to support anybody else's dream. It's time for me to step up and live my own dream again.
Yeah, and that you most certainly do.
And so then I
And this been
made it happen.
And it's been so well received. Like you just, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago? You had the welcome party, the opening.
4 weeks ago.
200 people. It was just packed. Great to see the community come in here, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, Colin!" Like you must have gotten feedback like crazy. Like people must just.
Yes, and there's a lot of things I want to do. You know,
so there's more.
There's more. For me, this is not just a hair salon. It's a space that I want to have events in, so client events, seasonal events, trend releases, have pop-ups, other connected businesses that we can bring in and expose and do partnerships with.
Don't worry, I'm going to have a party here. I'm going to have a party here.
You know, so...
and I want that DJ.
Oh, he's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I was vibing that music very nicely.
So there's a lot of things that I want to do. It's not about having a salon. It's about creating a community and being a place for the community that's saying there's a different way of doing things. We don't have to do the things the way we've always done.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's about supporting one another. And I'm a big believer of that too. Like it's if we elevate each other, we will be elevated with them by default.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, like with Jake, look at how we're working together over all, like it's been now almost a year actually, right? 2 years? Yep. Jesus.
I know.
God.
Time goes quick.
And when we first started talking, it does. But all of a sudden, you just, more business, more opportunities, more people, more everything. Like, and then, you know, even how I'm now doing interviews, how it all evolved from, like, it's great to see. And I'm so grateful that you invited us in here and let us have a talk through and walk through and hear what you have to say, because you're going to have a few more years to go here. So
I have a lot more years to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I look forward to seeing much, much more.
You will.
So thank you so much, Colin. This has been a delight.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. I was like, oh, should I? Before I was like, oh, should I be? Now, Mari, you just be you. Okay, I will
just be you. Yeah.
As always.
Yeah. I have nothing to hide. So.
No. Awesome. Thank you so much, Colin.
My pleasure.
Till the next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Good call.